Aloha and welcome to UHMTV, a news production brought to you by journalism students at Manoa School of Communications. I'm Christy Tomashiro.
And I'm Kristen Wong. Thank you for joining us. Coming up, a look at pesticides and how they may be helping or hurting our community.
We'll show you what chemical in sunscreen could be killing the coral reef.
Plus, one man's fight to choose his own destiny.
And we'll talk story with local journalist and proud UH alum Paula Akana.
Stay with us for our spring 2017 episode of UHMTV.
I chose UH Manoa's College of Social Sciences because it inspires me to be bold and unafraid, to stand out, speak up, defend, and question.
It's about being in my element, being engaged, and being part of something great.
At the College of Social Sciences, we empower students to explore their interests, discover what they excel in, and learn how to apply their knowledge outside the classroom. Visit us today and learn more about us, because life is not one-dimensional and your college degree shouldn't be.
The use of pesticides in and around farmlands has often been blamed for many health-related problems.
But some local farmers say not all pesticides are considered dangerous, as Annabelle Lejeune reports.
Pesticides protect crops from pests and weeds. Community members are concerned about the use of pesticides near sensitive areas like schools.
My babies all go to school. Youngest is at the only immersion school on the island. My two oldest, the only high school on the island, and they're all right north, like directly across the street kind from Monsanto Fields.
Farms around Hawaii are feeling the pressure as community members question the health risks of pesticide exposure.
2 days after pesticide was sprayed around my house, I had a miscarriage.
Ne'ahu is among many demanding the protection of her community near high-volume pesticide users.
The aim is to regulate them in some way to get pesticide disclosure, which means the chemical companies have to tell us what they're spraying and when.
One of the most popular bills on pesticides would implement buffer zones. These zones would regulate pesticide use around sensitive areas like schools and hospitals. Farmers argue that restricting the use of pesticides restricts them from producing.
You know, it has to be reasonable, the amount of land that you're taking out of production. I don't think any farmer wants to hurt any children or anybody.
Some say it's not a matter of restricting pesticides, but educating pesticide users.
There's just a lot of rules and regulations there that they want applied. And they've used mainland as this is what happened in the mainland. Well, this is not the mainland, this is Hawaii. And again, while trying to protect Hawaii, we educate and we prevent, and why stop that process?
Whether it's organically certified or genetically engineered, all crops use pesticides. Farmers like Okimoto started the farmers' markets to educate the community on farming techniques. Okimoto argues for fair protection of farmers and the community.
Let's base things on sound science and find out really what is going on. And if kids are really getting sick, let's find out the reason why. And if it is a pesticide, yeah, by all means, let's not use it.
To keep up with the bills in progress, check out the Hawaii State Capitol website. For UHMTV, I'm Annabelle Lejeune.
One of the most common essentials found in your beach bag may actually contain harmful toxins.
Environmentalists say that a chemical in some brands of sunscreen may be killing the coral reefs and are calling for an outright ban. Keon Diego has more.
Oxybenzone, a chemical found in over 3,500 sunscreen products, has been shown to induce coral bleaching, disrupt coral reproduction, and cause baby coral to die, according to a study led by the Heredicus Environmental Laboratory.
The bottom line is, our economy is based on tourism, which is based on the environment. And if you have anything that might be hurting the environment, that's where we need to step in and see, is there anything we can do?
Although the biggest threats to coral reefs are pollution, overfishing, and climate change, sunscreens containing oxybenzone can be problematic in areas with high volumes of tourists.
I've been at the Sheraton in Waikiki, 20 stores up, and looked down, and I've seen areas of the beach that were milky white, cloudy, milky white. And you have to assume that that's not good for the ocean, let alone any marine life that's in the ocean.
Although researchers stress the impact that oxybenzone has on the coral reefs, they also suggest alternative methods for skin protection, such as using sunscreens containing titanium oxide or zinc oxide, which have not been found to harm the coral, or wearing long-sleeve swimwear.
People are going to buy sunscreen regardless. There's already products on the market that are equally good at protecting your skin from exposure to the sun, and there would probably be some cost involved in transitioning, but my feeling is they would be able to transition with minimal impact.
For UHMTV, I'm Keon Diego.
A controversy is brewing at the state legislature over a bill that gives patients the right to die.
Opponents argue the bill destroys the value of life, but one Nanakuli man says it's his choice to die with dignity. Dylan Anchetta has a story.
At just 52 years old, DeMont Connor is fighting for his life.
It came as a total, complete shock.
In February 2015, he went to the hospital for what he thought was a sinus attack. Doctors found out it was much worse.
Then they said, we're going to have to put you in the hospital. We're going to admit you into the hospital. I said, for what? And they said, well, you have chronic myelogenous leukemia.
He was in emergency care that evening. For the next 2 years, Connor would undergo harsh chemo treatments that eventually took a toll on his body.
My mouth was all burnt. My throat was burnt. Because chemo is a poison, yeah? I was puking my guts out, everything was bad.
Until he realized that's not how he wanted to live. He eventually stopped his chemotherapy.
When people say, wow, you cut your chemotherapy, you like die. I said, no, I'm not choosing to die. I'm choosing to live.
Senate Bill 1129 would grant terminally ill patients the right to get medical help from their doctor to end their lives. And Connor supports the measure's intent.
It's giving you the choice to avoid needless suffering.
Religious groups and pro-life organizations have taken a stance against the bill, saying it will destroy life and put patients at risk for abuse.
Now, the bill is over 30 pages long, and there are safeguards within the measure to protect patients.
Safeguards include getting a second doctor's opinion, the right to cancel at any time, and patients must be in the right state of mind when making the decision. A recent study found just over 76% of Hawaii residents polled support medical aid in dying. Governor David Ige tweeted his support, saying, "If that bill comes to my desk, I most definitely will sign it." And that support is promising for DeMont Connor as he decides how he lives and how he dies.
Every single person has the right to choose.
A committee has since deferred the measure, but there is no doubt discussion will continue. Dylan Anchetta, UHMTV.
When we come back, what college students across the country are doing to address the stress.
And meet a CrossFit mom who's taking the extra weight to a new level. Stay with us. Welcome back to UHMTV. More and more college students are reporting an increased level of anxiety and mental health issues.
Now, a nationwide student-run campaign is hoping to address the stress through public relations. Bianca Smallwood explains.
Midterms, essays, and projects can stress any college student out. But when things get worse, many are afraid to seek help.
There's a negative stigma surrounding mental health, and a lot of people are kind of afraid to talk about the stress issues that they have.
But with negative stigma surrounding mental health, the UH Manoa Sharing Stories Connecting Minds campaign is addressing the stress. Part of a national competition aimed to change the culture of mental health in America, the Sharing Stories Connecting Minds campaign was created by UH students to raise awareness of mental illness, and the stigma surrounding it.
During our research process, we found that a lot of the students here on campus didn't know about mental health services on campus, so we thought that today would be the perfect opportunity to promote that.
At their Address the Stress event, participants learned how the 5 signs of mental suffering, personality change, agitation, withdrawal, poor self-care, and hopelessness can be used to identify when a person needs help.
I think the biggest thing that I learned was being more aware of how people are feeling and talking to them more and knowing exactly how they're feeling and not just, oh, how are you? Oh, I'm good. You know, the getting past the superficial, I'm good.
According to studies, while every 1 in 4 college students have a diagnosable mental illness, 40% of them do not seek help due to stigma. But the Sharing Stories Connecting Minds campaign plans to end this stigma by promoting communication between the campus community and making sure people who are suffering know they are not alone.
We just want everybody to become aware that mental health issues is normal. We all go through it, and it's nothing to be ashamed of.
To learn more about mental health, you can visit www.changedirection.org. For UHMTV, I'm Bianca Smallwood.
While some students are coping with a heavy stress load, others are releasing their tension through CrossFit workouts.
Recently, we met an expecting mom who's unexpectedly carrying more than her share. The extreme workout phenomenon CrossFit has increased in popularity over the years. But from deadlifts to squats, it could be alarming to see women who are continuing to perform the intense cross-training with the extra weight of a baby.
Pregnancy is one of the most strenuous things a woman will ever do in her life. And the baby's life actually probably depends on what she does and how she takes good care of herself. So,
Amy Werner is 35 weeks along and has been doing CrossFit for 9 years. This is her first CrossFit baby.
I had to go through fertility treatment to get this little guy, and the fertility clinic said don't lift anything over 35 pounds. But as soon as I got pregnant and switched to my current doctor, he said, game on, go for as much as you want as long as you keep your breathing under control.
While doctors usually allow women to continue exercises that they've done before pregnancy, some are concerned that CrossFit may come with some risk.
CrossFit's very strenuous, and as it goes along, it's start having to limit it, and it's not a time to push through it at all. The old adage, if it hurts, keep on working through it, doesn't work when you're pregnant. If it hurts, stop. And we'd rather them stop before it gets to that point.
Despite the debates about pregnant CrossFit, a recent study done by the CrossFit Journal articles shows positive feedback for pregnant mothers. A few examples include moms having easier, shorter, and less complicated labors while babies were healthier.
For me personally, it made childbirth and recovery, I think, a lot easier, and you can scale everything down to your own ability and still be able to come and get a good workout, and it's super healthy for you, it's super healthy for your baby.
It can help you at any level you're at any stage in life you're at, any situation you're in. If you're injured, I consider myself somewhat injured in a way, right? I can't do everything, but that doesn't mean that you can't come in and get a workout for where you're at that point. So that's why, yeah, I'd say come on in.
Many studies are still being conducted on this issue. For UHMTV, I'm Kristen Wong. When we come back, we'll sit down with TV anchor and UH alum, Paula Akana.
And we find out that there's more than meets the eye to this veteran reporter.
Hawaii is home to one of the best universities in the world, the University of Hawaii at Manoa. Consistently ranked in the top 5% among national and international universities, affordable with resident tuition more than $4,000 below the national average, 200+ degree programs to choose from. Get a world-class education and experience. The University of Hawaii at Manoa.
Welcome back to UHMTV. Recently, we had the opportunity to interview TV anchor Paula Akana, who also happens to be a proud UH graduate.
Our own Victoria Cuba had a chance to speak with her in this exclusive interview.
Aloha and welcome to UHMTV.
I'm Victoria Cuba, and today we are joined by our special guest, KITV news anchor and UH Manoa journalism alum, Paula Akana. Mahalo for joining us today.
Thanks, Victoria, for inviting me.
You've been at KITV for about 30 years. When did you decide to go into news, and why did you continue to do this line of work?
You know, it started back in high school. I was on our school newspaper. I was the sports editor, and then I was the editor-in-chief. Doing the classes here at the University of Hawaii and being able to intern at KITV, it just really helped. I've always been inquisitive, and I think that's one of the most important things you need to have as a journalist. So it really fed that ni'ele aspect of my life.
So you talked a little bit about interning. What was that like?
When I interned at KITV, I was just beginning my senior year here at the University of Hawaii. I came in as often as they would allow me to. Went out on stories, learned how to write stories, learned how to look up file, and I really, really enjoyed it. When my internship was finishing, it was Christmas break. People were going on vacation, so they asked me to fill in as a reporter. And so I did that, and when that finished, they just decided to work around my schedule, and they did. So I was working at KITV reporting and finishing up my senior year, and then I graduated in May of 1984.
Could you name a few people that helped you at UH?
Yeah, I have to say Bev Keever was probably one of the most important teachers that I had there, because she really taught me how to look for information, where to go, and that's really helped over the years. Bob Jones, who had been an anchor on the news when we were there, and he really opened my eyes into what was out there. And so he was the one that encouraged me. He says, you can speak, you got a speech background. He goes, you write really well. Maybe this is something you want to look into.
You also have extracurricular activity. You're so busy. How do you find time to do it all? And what are some of the activities that you do?
I'm involved in the Polynesian Voyaging Society. I also serve on a number of boards that I like to just help out in the community. And I do Hawaiian native gardening at home. Journalism can be really stressful. It's not always an 8-hour day. It's not always 5 days a week. So doing the things that I enjoy helps to balance my life. And that's really important for anything that you do in life.
The word fake news is thrown around a lot. Do you have any thoughts on it? And what do you want to tell journalists and aspiring journalists about it?
Well, you know, that's the big thing right now, fake news. And when you look on the internet, sometimes you'll see postings and they look so realistic. And I go back to what I learned in Bev Keever's class here at the UH Manoa is fact-checking. When somebody tells me something, before I go on the air with it, I look for at least 2 sources who will confirm that it happened. But you know, I really encourage journalists to just dig as deep as you can.
We have a lot of graduates here at UH Manoa. Do you have any words of wisdom for them as they go out into the field?
Internships. I can't stress how important that is for you to know if this is what you really want to do. 30 plus years I've been at KITV. I can't even count how many people started off as interns and were given a job here or somewhere else. All I can say is you just got to be determined and keep the excitement about journalism and about wondering and about inquisitiveness.
We really appreciate your words of wisdom, and mahalo for joining us, Paula Akana, at UHMTV.
All right. Thank you so much, and good luck to you.
When we come back, learn about a new program on Oahu's west side that's helping families face autism.
And how local art is giving kids a fresh start. Don't go away.
Hawaii is home to one of the best universities in the world, the University of Hawaii at Manoa. Consistently ranked in the top 5% among national and international universities, affordable with resident tuition more than $4,000 below the national average, 200+ degree programs to choose from. Get a world-class education and experience. The University of Hawaii at Manoa.
I chose UH Manoa's College of Social Sciences because it inspires me to be bold and unafraid, to stand out, speak up, defend, and question.
It's about being in my element, being engaged, and being part of something great.
At the College of Social Sciences, we empower students to explore their interests, discover what they excel in, and learn how to apply their knowledge outside the classroom. Visit us today and learn more about us, because life is not one-dimensional and your college degree shouldn't be.
Welcome back to UHMTV. Families coping with special needs now have a place to go on Oahu's west side.
The new facility is a welcome addition to the Waianae Coast, offering autistic patients a chance for a better quality of life.
Whoa, super fast!
The first Applied Behavior Analysis Center, Ola Autism Services, was opened in the heart of Waianae in January. Ola means to seek one's best life, and Keola Owana, Executive Director, and her team strive to do just that.
This side of the island has not really been serviced. Families have a really hard time accessing providers that are willing to commute out to this side of the island. So we really have made it our goal not to only have services available, but to hire and train Waianae Coast residents so that we're able to help our own community.
The time-consuming commute from the Leeward Coast to town is not the only struggle for Westside patients. And with Luke's Law passing January 1st of 2016, parents are now left with the responsibility to go through their insurance to find the right ABA service for their autistic child.
It is hard because one of the first companies we tried to get is in town. You gotta go interview over there. You have to see if they'll take you, and then on top of that, they didn't know the new rules or the new laws with the insurance, so they gave us a hard time.
According to Senate Bill 719, or Luke's Law, insurance coverage is required for autism treatment. But for ABA services, the maximum $25,000 is granted until the age of 13. With the age restriction on service availability with Luke's Law, Ola Autism Services is looking to broaden their aid for older patients.
We'd also like to be able to provide somewhat of a teen and transition center, so where we kind of work on job readiness skills, social skills for older kids, for our higher functioning clients, things like getting a driver's license or applying for college and things like that.
But for now, Keola is just glad to give back to her roots.
My dad really instilled in me the importance of being a proud Hawaiian and helping our community, and it feels amazing to know that we're making a difference here.
Means good morning to you.
I'm Christy Tomashiro reporting for UHMTV. Some see graffiti, others see beauty.
As Gabriel Estevez reports, urban art can be cultural and educational.
Graffiti, an urban pastime that has roots within hip-hop culture, has found its way as a useful tool for the Hawaiian youth.
If I haven't met 808 Urban or Powwow, I don't know where I would be now.
Keala Kukui faced challenges with negative influences, but discovered art as an outlet. She moved to Hawaii from the mainland and found 808 Urban, a non-profit collective that helps at-risk youth through hip-hop and cultural education.
Organizations like this are very, very important because they show that there's something to go to.
There are challenges that they're going through in today's education system, in today's environment. It's not set up for them to succeed. And that's what 808 Urban does, is it helps them identify them with themselves and helps them succeed.
Uncle Prime showed me life, to love my own culture, to love this culture, to love everyone around me, to love my artwork.
Keala Kukui has been with the program for 3 years, and next month she'll be leading her own projects as the new director of 808 Urban.
They're not just doing this for kids, they're teaching the kids then how to do it, to sustain this thing. So he may not do this forever, but he's passing that down, and that's Hawaiian culture, right? That's what you do. That's taking care of each other and teaching others how to take care of the next generation to come.
Kukui has taught me how to nurture community and how to nurture multi-ethnic groups, right? And to come from a place of innocence and of wonderment, that's what she displays, right? And if we forget how to wonder in art, then why do art? We need to always discover, we need to always rediscover who we are through our art.
For UHMTV, this is Gabriel Estevez.
We hope you enjoyed our show. Thank you so much for watching.
Until next time, from all of us at UHMTV, aloha and a hui ho.